think of, when you think of Git, you think of version control. Let me do an illustration. You know, before when this developer team, like the programmers, want to develop, let's say, an application for instance, maybe a banking application, you realize like 10 years ago or even far more than that, you realize that for some days you will not be able to use that application. Do you remember?
Okay.
So
Yes.
this
Because they are dated.
version control eliminates that time, the number of hours or number of days
Okay.
you spend on working on a software. So now you have a situation whereby you have a real-time automated system for taking note of your versions, different releases, different patches that are being released. Okay, now coming back to the Android platform, let's say the Google app, Play Store, something like that. When you download an application, you realize that once users start complaining, there is already a maintenance going on. And before you know it, you just realize there is a pop-up on your own phone that prompts you that you should do an installation. Am I right? So this is how it's done on GitHub. Can see is a practice of keeping tracks of changes and managing code. It's also known as control.
Okay.
Now, repository, these are like, you know, on Windows platform, Windows operating system, we either refer to files or we refer to folders. And you know, folders is a collection of image, let me say media files, documents, and any other thing you want to think of. You know, you can easily differentiate them by their extension. That's the data type or the file type, as the case may be. So this repository is like a custom. Sorry, it's my daughter. She also wake up not long ago, so I had to attend to her. So is essential place on GitHub. You will hear something like containers. They are all the same thing. Depending on the particular solution you are using or the particular platform you are using, you either hear repository, but you will never hear something like a folder or a directory. Is Linux the open source operating system that uses directory? Are you familiar with Linux? They refer to their folders as directories.
No.
When you hear directory, just think open source. So now this is a central place where data are stored, and we know data are like valid informations that you can use to generate other insights or make forecasts, as the case may be. So GitHub or GitLab, there are other ones that support Git. Git is actually the language. It's the coding side, but GitHub is more popular because it accommodates other fields. Like now, you talk of project management, you talk of web development, you talk of DevOps. DevOps use GitHub more than GitLab and the likes. So, you can see Git is the version control system that manages and keeps track of your code. GitHub, on the other hand, is the service that lets you host, share, and manage your code files on the internet. So it's an online repository. It supports online repository, collaborations, and the like. Look at it. For collaborations, for facilitating project management, for free page hosting. I set off data.
Free page hosting.
Data is late. It's past your bedtime, please. So we have advantages.
Okay.
The free services, less coding, licenses. Licenses in the form of maybe you want to pay for secure services, using other integrated applications or platforms. The web presence, just for you to be online visibility. Then portfolio management, just like when they asked you, what project have you worked for? This is what GitHub allows you to showcase your past project or ongoing project, as the case may be. Now, it's also a professional site. It's not a social media site, like they say. Now, disadvantage, it can be private, and you also need a network on it. Now, 3 ways in which you can, the slide is not here. The 3 ways you can use GitHub for your code, let's be more specific now, is either you upload directly from GitHub or you use Visual Studio Code. And in the case of data analysis and the likes, where you use Jupyter, there's a way you can install the extension for GitHub, and then you link it to GitHub directly by using, I set up that thing by using this integrated platform, and the link. I will show you where the links are. Then you can also try having like a hybrid, where you have your code stored in the local repository, then you upload to GitHub and do the necessary aspect of it, not really using command all through. That one is more like a click and continue process. So that's all about the presentation, and I'm going to move on to the page now. Oh shoot! Stop. I'm coming. All right. Do you have any question? Do you have any question yet?
Before you start.
Okay.
Yes. For me, my emphasis. Okay, like I wanted to send you. I was trying to send you a voice note, but it wasn't going through. I guess the network was bad.
Okay.
When I read it, like I told you, I've already signed in.
You can see
I just went to Chrome. When I was looking for it, I just wanted to find out.
Can you see the page I'm sharing with you? This is
yes, I can.
This is what your homepage
looks like. I can.
Because you've just signed in. You can see this aspect. Introduce yourself. Can you see it?
Okay.
You can see the cursor?
Yes, I can.
You should have something like this as your home page. Am I correct? You can see it's a README file.
Yes, I think, I'm not using my...
Okay.
Yes, I can see
it's
it.
a README file.
I can see it.
What this README file does is to have a summary, like a brief description of what that repository is all about. Like now, this repository here is just for the page. This is my username. MTechSpace is the username. But this extension shows the page, the profile, brief details. You can see, hi, I'm this. I'm interested in. If you now want to use it, all you need to do is you create it and then add other information where you have the dot sign. Or probably you want to change something on it, or you want to add. You can see number 6 is not filled at all. Can you see it? Can you see the number 6? There's no details there. So
Yes.
this is just to guide a novice or a newbie
Yes, I can see.
on what to put in that aspect. In my other profile page, I did not make use of this. In fact, then I closed it. Now, look at this start a repository. Look at this place. You can see this slash. It shows the name you want to use for your repository. That means I don't want to start
the repository to be.
I don't want to start from Visual Studio Code. I want to start from here. I'll come here. Now, the public is on private because you don't want anybody to see it. You can see by default, the repository is on private. It means you cannot even share any link with anybody, anything like that. You have to place your repository on public. So you can use it. Another way to create a repository is to come here. You can see this new. Can you see my mouse? It's also for repository. Can you see the mouse?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You can also come here.
Yes, I can.
Look at it. You can also come here. This import repository has to do with you already have one repository already. So you want to bring it to this profile. You get it from another profile page of yours and you upload here. This code space, you don't need code space because you are not a developer or something like that. So you don't need it.
Yes.
Then this new gist has to do with probably more of this profile readmail.md. The MD there, the MD extension means markdown. If you notice on Anaconda Jupyter notebook, you will see raw. Am I right?
Yes.
Let me open it for you. You see raw. I'm coming. Oh, this picture is just trying to connect again. It's network. Let me see if I can connect it again. I believe you can see my screen.
It's like I can. It's
anyway,
like you're very good with Python.
You know when you are doing your coding details on the notebook, please go away from here.
Which one?
On the Jupyter notebook, you know there is code, there is raw, there is markdown. Am I right? The markdown you have on Jupyter Live is the same
markdown is majorly for the title.
This markdown I'm talking about. So in case you want to do something like a documentation, like a screen with image documentation, it may not be for data analysis code. It could be for web development. You will just create an MD file. Separate from the read.md. Create it separately, and then you have your code and your images. Then in the other folder aspect of it inside the same folder, inside the folder. You store everything inside the folder. Then you now do upload by connecting to your repository online. So now, back to what I was trying to show you. I've explained this. Then this new organization had to do with maybe you are a staff of a complaint now, you will need to add them as new organization. That's what it does. It's just for complaints, or, you know, in between, an hybrid in between public and private, where the organization is the owner of their document with copyright, protective, and whatever something. So this new project, I'm not really familiar with it, because we don't use it. In DevOps, we don't use it. Web development, they don't use it. So here is another way. I've showed you like 3 ways of you creating your repository. Now, you can see what I clicked on. I clicked on my...
You can create new one, or you can import.
Can you see the cursor? Can you see it here?
Yes.
I clicked on the profile image.
Yes,
here,
I can.
And you can see set my status, just like when you're on Facebook, that WhatsApp, that you say I'm available, I'm busy, I'm away. This is what status does. Your profile, the information is there. This one is for adding another account. All the list of your repository, this is where you find it. Like I said, the project thing is out of my own this thing. Then I've talked about your organization too. In case you are the business account holder, this is enterprises something. Then the number of stars. As you move ahead, you'll be getting stars. They will be giving you batches that this is your level now. This is the more codes you send, the more... Zoom want to cut me off. Let me quickly go. Okay, now I'm going to create the repository. Now, this is the repository. I'm going to name it just DA something something. I can delete it later. DA, it will check for availability. Can you see? It's checking for availability. Do you want to add description to it? I prefer not. Then look at it. You can see this README file. It's always good. You see, this is where you write the long description for your project. I'm going to add it. Then this one, you don't need to touch it. This gets ignored. You just leave it on default, since it's not a template. Then this license, you may prefer to leave it as none, or you add a MIT license to it. Can you see the MIT license? You can see what they said here. A license tells others what they can and cannot do with your code. You know, you are the originator, you are the owner of that code. Yes. If you now want protection like this thing, that is when you now say you want to have a license on it, you want to leave it like that. But always select MIT as your code, as your license authority. So I'm just going to, for the benefit of this class, I'm just going to leave it on default, which is on none. Now I'm creating my repository. It's created. Now, look at this. You can see this thin line. It shows we are on code. This is where you either decide you want to create on GitHub platform without going to Visual Studio, or you want to upload. If you are saving your
upload the code,
data analysis file, you know I already told you it's going to be an extension of MD.md, being markup markdown file extension. So this is where you either do the creation from here. You will see as you are going, you select the appropriate this thing. Now you can see it's showing here that you have an initial commit. What this initial commit says is that there is already a changes. You have to save these changes. If you do not save it, it will not be recognized, which is where we talked about version control. You can see it's saying 1 minute. Look at this, 1 minute ago, which means you have to commit this code for it to be saved properly.
Code, okay.
Otherwise, it will not be there.
Okay.
Now, this code here, this is where you decide on how you want to clone it. If you are using terminal on your terminal on your local machine, you know it's a command coding line where you speak directly to the computer, just like in Linux open source operating system, but it uses terminal. This is an example of terminal now. If I want to clone without going through Visual Studio, without downloading GitHub desktop, there's what we call GitHub desktop. You can install that one. The same thing with what I explained about the one. Without going through that route, I may decide all I just need to change my directory. I don't want to stress you with the command aspect of it, but then this is it. We use git clone. Then you will now add this. Look at it. This is the sheet aspect of it. You will add this one. It has even downloaded the zip code. You add it for the command line. That's the Linux or the shell terminal. So I'm going to do this. Look at it. You can see it's saying cloning into DD. I will show you now in my my download folder. Are you with me? I hope I'm not confusing you. Can you see the folder now? Can you see it?
I'm trying to follow up.
See it here.
I'm trying to follow up.
I've done a clone in my download. Look at the code I typed. This is the code I typed. You can see 100% completed. Am I right? Look at the code here.
I can't see. I'm still on. It's still on your past distance. I'm not sure it's moving.
Hello?
I said I can't see it. What I'm saying here is still the HTTPS. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Okay. So this is the command. This is the command aspect of it. Now, if I said I want to clone on Visual Code, look at it. Can you see it? Clone a remote repository, a local folder. Is there already? Let me lower this. Can you see it? I want to clone. It's asking me for the URL. This is the URL. Can you see it has highlighted it and said clone from GitHub? It's going now. And before that time, before that time, you must have added GitHub as an extension. There's an extension tab here.
Okay.
Can you see the extension on Visual Studio Code? Look at it. These are the ones that have been installed.
Okay.
All these ones have been installed there. You can see GitHub pull request. This pull request has to do with branches. So these are the list. You will see GitHub there. This is GitHub. You can see.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is network, but I can't see anything you're doing.
You can see the visual code again.
No, I can't. I've just been. I can't see when you said pull request. I can't see that. I didn't see the codes. It's just on the last this thing that you showed the last time. That's what I'm saying.
I'm showing you. Can you see this?
Your cursor is on code now. Your cursor is moving down to
HTTPS.
Yes, it's on clone. Yes.
Visual Studio.
I've seen that.
This zone will soon go up because it's already 40 minutes. So we may need to refresh if it's not active. So this HTTPS is what you will need. This link here. You won't touch this SSH, secure shell, or this one. You won't touch them.
Okay.
This one, you only touch this one if you downloaded GitHub desktop. Do you understand now?